So before I actually get into everything that's happened, I do want to say a few things. There's been a lot of drama recently with T-Pig and Drybones, which obviously everyone knows about that's been watching this video, I assume, besides a few. But before I actually get into the allegations and all that against the two, I do want to say that some things I say may sound a little weird because, you know, anyone that's been going through the whole braces thing does understand that they do put a lot of random appliances in your mouth, and it's kind of hard to talk every now and then with them. And I'm currently undergoing that. And I've also not talked in a YouTube video in a long time, and never have under these circumstances. So I'm not really nervous, it's just different to me, and I might mess up every now and then. So with that being said, I do want to say that this whole beef stuff was kind of just wrong on both sides. T-Pig and Dry making a lot of just nonsense accusations against each other, which was kind of weird for me to witness because I'm probably the only person who's actually been close to both of these people. Not simultaneously, but at different times. I was good friends with Dry. I'm currently good friends with T-Pig. So I decided to make this video because everyone else siding with one side doesn't actually understand the other whatsoever. There's been big people like Exploding Apple, GNVS, even, and some other people may have forgotten, but those are just the main people that come to mind that picked one side and stuck to it without really knowing what they were talking about. Both of which were just blindly siding with Drybones, thinking that he never did anything wrong, from what I know of, which is clearly not true. And I will start with the issue that Drybones has had recently, as that is the main attraction, as T-Pig is the one making allegations against him, and Drybones making counter allegations. So I do want to talk to Drybones first, since that is also probably most of the people watching this are going to be trying to figure out what's going on with him. So yeah. So the first thing that was outed with him was the grooming allegations, which are true. They're true. I am friends with the victim, Exotic. Exotic was in a very bad place at the time, since our OG group that I had, one of my other groups, because this OG group had like a lot of people in it, so it wasn't exactly the most friendly place. You know, when you have a huge group of people that some don't even know each other, there'll be some people that don't like each other, that don't, you know, fit in as much. And Exotic in this group had a subgroup with his friends that he kind of brought into this main group, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the visions in a way. While we were all friends, again, it's not like everyone liked each other. Everyone would join one party to talk to some people, then other people would join that party, and they didn't really care about some of the people there. And maybe they had some prior issues before ending up joining these parties. Nonetheless, lots of drama would happen. This ended up in Exotic and his like little subgroup not really talking to us as much as used to, and Exotic didn't have many people to talk to. He was in a pretty bad spot, what I know of. Didn't take care of himself properly. All that stuff that happens when you're depressed or not feeling well. If anyone's been in that spot, you know that a lot of the things you do will just be seeking happiness, maybe going for some temporary satisfaction, if you will. And he ended up talking to Drybones, and I believe the way he contacted him was because there was this other subgroup that I was in that I showed interest to. This subgroup consisted of Vampiro, Gamertech Gaming, Leafy to P, Crystal, but they weren't as part of like the main cast. And I did end up getting some people into this group, that mostly being Exotic and Flanders. And this is kind of why all the grooming allegations started, because Drybones ended up joining this group. And this group in specific is important because everyone was like strangely loving to each other. I tried to stay out of it myself. I didn't really want to be like a part of that. It's kind of like strange to me. But like everyone's like oddly close with Fron, I love you. Like it's just nothing, and there's nothing really wrong with that. But when you add in the emojis, extra characters, all that, it kind of just looks like a gooning circle. If you know what that means, then you know what it means. I'm already gonna explain it. But it just looks like a group of weirdos, basically. And that's why I didn't really want to have too many of my friends into that, because I didn't really know what would happen. I didn't really want to get made fun of for talking to people that were like very, very close to each other. Because I mean, it was kind of corny at the time. And Exotic ended up blending into his group well. Drybones also ended up joining, which I was kind of confused about since I did not know much about the guy at this point. This was a very long time ago. All of this being around, I want to say 2022. I could be wrong. It may go into 2023. But since I was rather childish at the time, and I wanted to leave said group due to beef with my group, their group, and some drama, as Leaf to Peace, when I mentioned earlier, very good friends of our own there, including Drybones, ended up trying to groom Flanders, and of course didn't succeed since, well, Flanders is a brick, but in this situation he's not. He didn't really, go that way. He wasn't weird the way Leafy was. No hate to him, I know he's like a different person now, or whatever. But at that time, like, Flanders was kind of like a quote-unquote normal person, he didn't really do any of that weird stuff. So Leafy trying to get him to talk about these weird, parts of your body when he was like 13, Flanders being 13, and Leafy being like much older than him, he didn't really buy it and kind of just like outed him, made fun of him. And this group, the subgroup, since who I mentioned earlier, blindly defended him, blindly defended him, because they were like besties at this point. They even like did strange things on call together. Like, they were basically just boyfriends. Like, they were basically just dating, but they never called it that for whatever reason. And they are both bi, that I know of. TikTok is not the bi. So when Drybones ended up getting TikTok to do these weird things, since he was at a very bad spot, he did encourage him into, satisfying himself, telling him about it. He gave him even instructions, if I do remember correctly. There is screenshots of all of these, I believe. Obviously the picture's not shown, but if you do want to see those screenshots, you can look at Mr. JT's video. I will probably not post them here, but I will put JT's video in the description if you really just want to be biased and not believe anything. Since, most people's favorite content creator, they don't really want to see like this, which I understand, but most of the Drybones community has been very biased about this, since they just don't believe that he would do any of this, but he obviously did. And it was a long time ago, and that's why I think he is not a groomer, as he was a groomer, but from what I've seen from him recently, he seems completely normal. I haven't noticed anything weird myself. I do go around like looking at what people do in this community, just so I can like know who's been weird, so I can tell people to get away from them, which isn't what I'm doing here. But I do like to do my research on people, and especially Drybones in this situation, as he was considered a predator for a little bit. Anyone that's been in this community for a long time knows what Dry has done, and most of them don't support him. But these new people that have no clue what's happening, they just see T-Pig making this video, be like, oh, look at these fake allegations against my favorite YouTuber. He would never do any of this. He's so innocent. And I believe this is the role that Drybones trying to play off in his video, debunking these claims that T-Pig made about him. He is wearing a Peacekeeper costume, doing all these silly gestures with his hands, changing his voice to be like, all that random playful stuff. And when you are having allegations in front of you for being a groomer, which are true allegations and you know it, that is pretty bad. That is a very bad look, and that's not something you should ever do under any circumstance. This doesn't make you look innocent. Anyone that actually knows what they're talking about this stuff will just consider you guilty, which he is. But do I think what Drybones did is still relevant at this time? Not at all. I think he is a changed person. I mean, I wouldn't really want to be quoted on that, since I am not in his friend group. I don't know if I'm even allowed in the server. I haven't really tried joining. The last time I spoke with him was, I sent a huge paragraph to him, since, whenever I left that other group, he was still in it. I was admittedly very childish, so I did do some like strange things. I did like rage bait them a lot before I left, so I ended up, I was a pretty strange guy to them. So I ended up doing this huge apology like way later after a said group party has forgiven me for what I've done. And all he said was just no. Like straight up just no and no. So yeah. I'm not really sure what he thinks of me, but I still respect the guy. I know he's reformed, I know he's a normal person now. I was normal as you need to be on the internet anyway. And that's something I understand. But most people don't. Since everyone's thinking, oh well, he did this like a long time ago, blah blah blah. And just because he groomed someone a long time ago doesn't mean I'm going to like forgive him, since again it was a long time ago. Since I am friends with Exotic still actively, and he has, talked to Dry on multiple occasions as of recent. So I know that he's already fazed by it. I mean, he already has a boyfriend, he's seen them IRL. They started like off online, but they have seen each other IRL. He's obviously moved past whatever they've done, and that is something that is not really a question. It's just true. So I don't think really what Dry did to him matters anymore, since he's clearly past it. Do I think I should just be completely excused? No. But since he's a reformed person, since Exotic could not really care any less about what happened, I mean, he's literally talking to him. He got into his Discord server, which has a verification system. He didn't try to hide anything. He's just straight up. He got in legit. So they seem to be fine, which means I have no reason to be against Drybones in any situations. On TPig's videos, on his live streams, I would actually defend him, as TPig is a good friend of mine. But this does not mean I'm against Drybones. I mean, if you do have any close friendships, then you'll understand that if someone's in an argument with someone that is considered bad, you will obviously stick by them and try to help your friend out. Because there's some things they may forget to mention. Is sometimes they can't really just deal with a lot of people calling them, you know, all these things that are just simply not true. There's a lot of people in chat that would say, oh, you're doing this for attention, Drybones did nothing. But these people would literally be like 9 years old, 10 years old. They have no idea what they're talking about. If Drybones was still a predator, these guys would be the victims. And that is something that needs to be mentioned. I'm not just gonna let these like little children be like, oh yeah, well this guy that, you know, is considered a groomer actively, which isn't true, by the way. I'm just saying that's what some people see him. Oh, this guy did nothing. It's all fake. It's all fake. It's not fake. Everything Drybones was accused of is true. It was a long time ago. Therefore, it's not as relevant as it should be for these people, since if you're going to do all this stuff for someone being a groomer, it should actually be at a relevant time. Everything he did was a long time ago. Nothing's really an issue anymore with what he's done. And that's why I choose to kind of defend Drybones in this situation. And by defend, I mean clear his name, because everyone still thinks he's some like monstrous creep that's like after kids, but it's just not true. Grooming and pedophilia are different. Grooming is sexually manipulating, or just manipulating someone in general to get some sort of sexual advance, or you know, anything like that. It's basically just another way of like manipulation, or another way of saying manipulation on a extremer level. That's what most people don't understand. I've seen so many people call Drybones a pedophile, but it's just not even close to true. His friend Leafy the P, in the final situation, you can consider him a pedophile, as the age gap was very strange for what he was doing. He claims to have just been stupid and, you know, not consider ages while talking about that, but that is no excuse. He can be warranted a pedophile. And even though he didn't do anything we know of that was crazy to Flanders, he just tried to like get him into talking about weird stuff about, you know, his body and all that, from what I remember. Could be wrong, could just be like body parts in general. But that just doesn't excuse anything. He is just willingly talking like that to a minor without confirming their age. And that is basically what pedophilia is. So Leafy P was the predator situation. Drybones also a predator, not a child predator, those are different things. He was a threat at the time, since he did groom Exotic. So he can be considered a predator or groomer at the time. He has not done anything like this in a long time, and he was 13 to 15, I believe 15 or 14 at the time of doing these things to Exotic. And he is now 18 as of recording this. It was his birthday previously. Happy belated birthday, buddy. So that does clear his name a decent bit. So the Drybones allegations, everything he did. The worst thing he's done recently, I believe, is call his viewers boners. And considering he has a younger fan base, since, you know, he's a PvZ content creator, most people here are kids or teens. I see a lot of teens in this community, if I'm being honest. I see them way more than kids. The only place you'll find more kids and teens, from what I've seen, is maybe like the Xbox group posts. I've seen a lot of kids on there, but I've also seen like adults. So the PvZ community is not childish as you would think. They're just stupid. They're not like really young. There's just a lot of strange people in this community. Most of them are not younger. And that is just off my experience. I mean, I've been around this community since the launch of the game. Most of the time I was not as prevalent, since like 2020 is when I became like pretty big and everyone started to know me. But still, I've been lurking around, and I can confirm that not everyone here is babies like people say. Oh, it's a kids game, why are you doing this in a kids game? It's all just yap. Not something you should listen to. But Drybones from what I've seen, does need to calm it down a little bit of what he says around his fan base, since even if there's, oh, they're just joking, everyone's active, chilling. There's a lot of people that will not interact with a community that they are in. For reference, Discord servers, his Discord has 2,000 people. Do you see 2,000 people talking all the time? No, you don't. A lot of these people on the server, or any Discord server, will just be considered lurkers. And lurking is what it's called when you just sit around just looking at chat. You don't actually communicate, but you'll still see what people say. And there was an accusation against Drybones that he'll put in his announcement tab that something was potentially inappropriate, but on Discord, you can mark something as a spoiler, which, from my knowledge, he did not do. So he's basically just posting stuff saying, oh, this is inappropriate, to like this younger audience, and he's not even making it a spoiler. Therefore, he doesn't really care if they see it or not, which obviously is a pretty bad look when you were a groomer a long time ago. So that is another allegation against him. This is one that I actually do believe is wrong and that he should fix. Calling his, viewers boners is straight weird. When you're a PvZ content creator, you shouldn't be doing that, as there's a lot of kids around. Despite most of them being teens, there's still a younger audience watching you, especially if you stream on YouTube, since people are actually trying to watch PvZ on there. A Discord server is different, as Discord is advertised for teens only, but we all know nobody cares about that. If you haven't faked your age on the internet once, you're not real, I don't believe you, or you're 40 years old. So yeah, we all know there's still gonna be kids all over the place, and that's something he doesn't seem to really think about when saying these things, which is weird. It's weird. That is the one thing I will agree that is an issue with what he's been doing, but he is not a groomer. I can confirm of that, almost confirm. There could be victims out there recently that I don't know about, but I mean, he has a big channel now, he's making good money. There's no reason for him to do these weird things on the internet, which clearly doesn't stop people, as you've seen with other popular YouTubers, but still, it's simply a dumb choice. He has no reason to really do that. He has to actually protect his channel, as he's, again, making good money. He may even consider it as his main job, which would be understandable, since from what I've seen, he gets a decent amount of donations, he has 10,000 subscribers, good views. He's making hundreds and hundreds, even like a few thousand every now and then. He can definitely consider it his main job, and if he keeps going, it will easily be full-time. If you are living with your parents, which he most definitely is, since he has just turned 18, making that amount of money is very solid. And yeah, there's not really a reason for him to do anything controversial anymore, as all these things that he did a while ago were way before he was like known like that. Which is why T-Pig made this video. T-Pig was, from his perspective, he saw a predator, and he's like, wow, I gotta kill this guy, because Mr. JT's video, it was a long time ago. JT has since quit the community, so he's already attracting people to his channel, so he doesn't upload. And that video that he made about Drybones only has around 5,000 views. And Drybones himself, as of recording this, has hit 10,000 subscribers. So even if all of his subscribers saw that video, or no, even if everyone that watched that Mr. JT video were his subscribers, it would still only be around half. Which, of course, isn't how that went. So from T-Pig's perspective, he was saving kids, and he may. Drybones still could be doing these weird things behind our backs. I doubt it. But again, from T-Pig's perspective, he was doing the right thing, trying to out a predator. And that's where something strange comes in. All of these people from Drybones community decided to lash out at T-Pig, since, their content creator was getting all this hate. And obviously that's not a good thing. You want to protect your content creator, you want to fight the allegations, even if there's proof. Most of the people in this community have been biased. Every time I see drama, there's hardly any, oh, well, I used to watch this video, they did this, but those are pretty common. But the people that are actually active in Drybones community, they don't even care about what he did. They don't care about what he did a long time ago. They think he's completely innocent, and that these things didn't even happen, which is obviously not true. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because there's so many people that have no idea what they're talking about, trying to put their 2 cents in, thinking they know what's happened between the two, when they don't know Drybones personally, they don't know T-Pig personally, and I know both of them pretty well. So I have an actual unbiased opinion, unlike these people that just watch their content creator like, oh no, he didn't groom that person, these are fake screenshots. No, they are not. And they are very obviously not. That is, anyone who said that is just blatantly biased, and they do not understand that anyone they know could out to be a weird person. And this is, of course, a younger audience that will think this. Most of the more mature people do understand these are real at the very least, but most just choose to ignore it because, again, it's just their content creator. They don't really care what he does. They just want to watch their videos. And then there's the weird bunch that will lash out at T-Pig, you know, draw stuff of his character making out with other gaming characters. There was one of his group stream, which is how he portrays himself most of the time. Just like kissing a zombie, kissing a piece of potato or something. They even make like these weird things against T-Pig that are related. I don't remember too much, as, I mean, I don't really care what some 11-year-old draws of T-Pig. It's already my concern. But there's a lot of people that would just like not even listen to our side of the drama. They'd be like, no, Drybones innocent. Like, you have no idea who this guy actually is. You just watch his videos, you maybe talk to him a few times. You don't know him on a personal level. Anyone on the internet can act to be like a good person. That's how most predators are. They just act like they're a chill guy. They try to get into doing things, and that's what grooming is. And because of this, T-Pig needed to keep making more videos stating that the things that Drybones were claiming against him were not true. Some new things he has done since then, as in joking with the PvZ's costume on the drama video, which was obviously not the right idea. I explained that earlier. So he had to keep making more videos to keep up with it. He did some live streams that I defended him on. I explained that earlier. And people just called him out for being like this clickbaiting, drama-seeking. People tried to call him out for just doing it for money, fame, attention, when T-Pig already has his own following. Sure, Drybones' community is way more interactive and consistent. That's because he's on the rise. He's more interactive with his community. T-Pig did a different style of video. In T-Pig's eyes, he was trying to dethrone someone that was on the rise because he thought he was a groomer, which is completely valid since he used to be. So, from T-Pig's perspective, he was doing the right thing. He was trying to warn the community about a possible threat, and what the community said about him was that you are stupid. They called him slurs from what I've seen. A lot of people called him the R1, an idiot, all that basic stuff that you see on the internet. Very common against T-Pig here, since, you know, from these fans' perspectives, T-Pig was just trying to consider someone a pedophile, a groomer, all these things for clout, which is a very bad thing to do. Obviously, shouldn't have to explain that one. But these people, they never thought about the actual possibility of Drybones being a groomer, and they just wanted to defend him and be like, oh no, T-Pig's stupid. But there's also this, like, T-Pig gets into a lot of controversy. First of all, for like clickbaiting some videos, which is normal on YouTube. I don't know if that's like a real surprise to most people. Apparently it is. But people clickbait all the time. It's completely normal. And T-Pig's clickbait is usually just exaggerations. Like, on his tier list, he'll put a character in like F tier or something that's obviously not. But that's just a normal tier list thumbnail. Everyone does that. You can look up any tier list on YouTube. There's going to be a lot of fake rankings, so people can click the video and realize that, oh no, that's not true. This guy's not stupid. He just wanted me to click the video. And that's what got me upset. Because T-Pig kind of does need this channel. I mean, he lives with his girlfriend and his mom, I believe, since they are split. And they do make good money. But one job, or no, 2 jobs for 3 people won't really cut it, especially nowadays. And T-Pig has some conditions that make him not able to work in a physical, like, place. He needs to do something online. And this is like perfect for him because he loves gaming. He loves all the stuff that he can make videos about. And people trying to like dethrone him for that, try to say, oh no, you're a stupid person. We should cancel you. All this stuff when he used to do the right thing in his eyes is pretty upsetting. He's not being money hungry by doing any of this. I don't believe he made much from them videos. I do think he monetized them. Since again, I mean, I wouldn't do that personally. I'm not gonna monetize this video, but. So I do understand why people are upset that he monetized the video. That can make it look like a cash grab, and I think that is where T-Pig is wrong. He should not have done that. It did not take him long to edit the video, which was his reasoning for monetizing, and he could have just, you know, not monetized it. And his reasoning for putting ads on the video was that, you know, he sat down, edited it, put all this work in, but that took like 20 minutes, and we all know it. But that was a mistake on his part that I'm sure he's realized by now. If not, I'm sure he will. But that doesn't really excuse what he did. So, from what I've seen from this drama, it's just been T-Pig and Drybones just completely yapping about each other. Both are completely wrong. Drybones would, from what I know, from what I've seen, Drybones has like a lot of misconceptions in his video. He thought that T-Pig was trying to get on him for having this Vampire Flower X's like PGOC kissing art in his server. That is NSFW, showing the kids bad, but that's not what T-Pig was talking about whatsoever. That was like a little pawn on the chessboard type thing, since, you know, I've been sharing around supposed kids. Can be strange. That's not at all what T-Pig was talking about, and that is just a useless claim. I also posted a supposedly fake screenshot of T-Pig flaming this trans person, which I'm not sure if it's true or not. I remember there was this person who said they were going to fake a screenshot on Reddit, and right after he would send that message, there was that screenshot on Reddit. So I'm going to consider it fake, as I do not really think T-Pig would say those words. But if somebody comes up and proves that's real, don't quote me on it. But I really don't know. I don't think T-Pig would say that to someone in his own server. That is pretty stupid. He has a image, his parents know about his YouTube, they watch his YouTube, all this stuff. So saying that on the internet is kind of stupid in my opinion. I don't know why you do that. I said it earlier with Drybones having to like protect his career. Like, you don't really need to be doing these useless things that aren't like worth it when you have all this stuff going good for you. So Drybones' video was mostly just fake screenshots, misconceptions that he thought were a problem that T-Pig stated, but he just didn't. So Drybones was completely wrong about what T-Pig was saying to him. T-Pig was wrong about what Drybones is. So Drybones was just completely wrong. T-Pig was wrong because he isn't a groomer or really a predator anymore. Drybones was completely normal for now. T-Pig was just trying to do the right thing. Both of these fan bases just claiming this, both just being entirely wrong. Which again is the reason I'm making this video, because T-Pig's fanbase has been attacking Dry, calling him a groomer. Drybones has been going around a lot, but all of these are fake just for things that were like a long time ago and aren't relevant anymore. And T-Pig was trying to do the right thing and out a person he considered a predator, and he was considered a attention-seeking manipulator, all this stuff, when he's just trying to help kids be safe. Do I think T-Pig is completely innocent in this situation? No. Do I think what Drybones has been doing recently is like normal? No. He does need to fix some of the things he says. There are kids watching his stream. He needs to understand that. If I was streaming, I would try to not do anything weird like that, because I don't know what could happen. I don't know who's watching my stream. There's no way to know. There's going to be always some kids around, especially in any stream. Any stream you watch, there's going to be some young people that are going to hear what you say and maybe even learn from it. Which is why I don't think you should be calling his fandom boners. But that's really the only wrongdoing I've seen from Dry. I think he does need to be careful what he says, because he's a grown creator and he clearly forgets that there is some responsibility of that, including being a safe space for everyone. Even if you mark your stuff as 13 plus, there's still gonna be kids on it. And if you care about your morals, then you should understand that, you know, there's not gonna be only teens on your video because YouTube marked as not for kids. Kids don't actually use YouTube Kids. This is not like a normal thing. Well, obviously they do. Not every kid uses YouTube Kids, so there's still gonna be many young people on your channel. That just goes without saying, that's pretty obvious. So he needs to be more careful. T-Pig's backing down. He wants to be chill with Dry, so he's doing the right thing. I'm not sure about Dry because I've not heard from him. We are not friends as of now. We'll be in the future. His choice. I still think he's a pretty cool guy. I respect him. I have been for like a year. I don't know what he thinks of me, but that's already my decision of what will happen. But I don't know. I believe Dry wants to stop this all. But from what I know, Dry doesn't want this to continue. T-Pig doesn't want this to continue. And I'm only making this video for the viewers of both that will continue to just drag it on and on. Since, let's be honest, even with my video coming out, there's still gonna be people like months and months later referencing this, which neither creators want to hear. And my goal is to kind of just stop that from happening as much as I can. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that both these people are innocent of what they've been claimed to. Both people are completely wrong and only saying these things in the moment, from what I know of. T-Pig's wrong, Drybones is wrong. Everyone should try to get along. And that's just my take on everything. This controversy has been pretty dumb. I have been around the community for a long time, as I stated earlier, and this is definitely on the higher tier of just unnecessary. I don't blame T-Pig for anything he's done. I don't blame Drybones for trying to make counter allegations, as T-Pig is a controversial YouTuber. So it makes sense to kind of like not only play the defensive position. And I do understand why he did that. Do I think the drama will end here? I have no clue. I hope it does. But if it does continue, it'll only be by the fans. Neither these content creators want to keep doing this drama stuff. They're past it. I believe this drama's over. But who knows? We'll just have to see. And that is all I have to say for now. There's definitely going to be some things I have forgotten to say, as I'm not using a script. I'm just talking to a screen. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just saying what I think about this all, and that a lot of these people are just completely wrong about what they're saying. I do not have a script for this video. I'm just talking to my screen. I've already done this before, so it's probably something I missed out on. And if there's any allegations I need to clear up for you guys, I would like to know. Since anything regarding T-Pig and Drybones I will know the truth of. I'm unbiased. They're both cool people. And that is about all.